Hey everybody, we're back in Dallas at the Regency International showroom, and it is June 2026. We're gearing up for Halloween. And you can go to holiday-bliss.com to pre-order and to select all of this fantastic Halloween merchandise that we've selected for you. Halloween's gonna be big this year, I'm just telling you. I think I've heard people talking about Summerween, so as we start getting into the warmer months of summer, I think we're gonna start to see Halloween really picking up. And so I wanna make sure that you're hearing directly from me first about what you can expect in terms of trends and what you can expect to see from us in terms of items that you might wanna consider for your decor this year. So let me just start out by saying one of the best ways to decorate for Halloween is to consider a Christmas tree, right? And so you guys know Christmas is our main passion, but I think you can do and you can apply a lot of the same decorating principles at Christmas time to a Halloween tree. And so you can see they've really come up with some really neat stems, ornaments, even some of these bigger houses. But what I think is really the one aspect of this that creates the Halloween feel is that instead of doing this on a green tree, you're doing it on a black tree. And what's great about these trees is that while they do have clear lights, you can also have these change to orange lights. So you can decide if you want clear lights or orange lights. But we are going to be pre-selling the Christmas trees, these black Christmas trees on our website as well. So maybe let's start over there so you can just see what the trees look like. So it's a black tinsel tree. It's got little flecks of silver in it as well. And we are going to be offering this in the 7.5 foot and in the 9 foot. But like I said, my favorite part of this is that it will actually change color. And so if you want to make this, turn to orange lights, all you do is just hit the switch and you go from clear to orange. And I think the best example of that is going to be actually on this side here in the wreath and garland. So you can see it's the coordinating wreath and garland, same as the tree material, but this is with the orange lights instead. And so I think if I just hit the switch, that's off, there's clear. And if I hit the switch one more time, it goes back to orange. So you've got a couple options built into the trees, the wreaths, or the garland. And we are gonna be pre-selling the garland as well. I love this garland because it's easy to put on a staircase. It's easy to put around a doorway. It's easy to run down a table if you want to create a tablescape, or maybe down your island if you're going to be throwing a Halloween party. And we'll talk about some of the ways that you might want to trim this garland to give it a little bit extra flair. But really fantastic line of trees, wreaths, and garland. And I love it because it's LED lights, clear or orange, which is an awesome feature. Normally you have to just buy either the clear or the orange. You're getting both with all of these products. So let's go back to the tree itself. And again, I talked a little bit about all of the design principles that we talk about when decorating a Christmas tree really do apply to decorating a Halloween tree as well. And you guys know stems and floral are going to be the thing that transforms any design project, including trees. And that is no exception when we talk about Halloween. You can see the large glittered black branches and some of the glittered sequin sprays, the eyelash sprays in purple, orange, and black are giving this tree a whole bunch of dimension that you're not going to have without it. So if you kind of get in here close, you can see the actual tree itself is way back here. And look at how much we're creating in terms of dimension and in terms of all sorts of just new texture and new layering by adding in some of these stems and branches, right? So I just wanted to give you guys that perspective. Here's the tree, and look at all the way out here, and then we're using these branches to actually hang ornaments and trim off of. So you're bringing the entire experience outside past just the frame of the tree. It's exactly what we're looking for. So love these branches. These you're going to be able to use on the tree, but if you turn around and look at how they've used these on a tablescape. Just sitting around the large witches on a table. You can pull in some of these other table top decor in there, but look at the texture and movement that these big black branches, and it can be anything. Maybe you prefer to use some of the purple instead. Maybe you don't want to use the big black. Look what happens when you add the purple in against that black. Remarkable, right? So the eyelash spray we're going to have available at holiday-bliss.com in the purple, the black, and in the orange. This is going to be a staple, not only for your tree, but look what happens when you start decorating your garland as well. And the nice thing about this eyelash spray is that you're going to be able to actually cut it up. So when you're doing a garland and a wreath, you're going to be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces out of this one stem that you can use in your garlands and in your wreaths. So this is going to be one that's going to give you a lot of bang for your buck, really good value, and look at the impact it makes. That purple against the black, going to be really, really cool at Halloween. All right, so we'll keep going through some of the other really neat stems on this Christmas tree. And again, go to holiday-bliss.com. We're going to have all of it preloaded out there for you as we get into the month of July. I love these, you guys. Look at these. So this is almost like a pom-pom, almost like a Sputnik pom-pom, which is amazing. And these two are going to be something that not only look fantastic in a tree, at the tree topper because of the upright shape of them, but look what it does in a tabletop display again. I mean, you can add just a few of these in with some other stems and look at the dimension, look at the height, look at the movement that you're creating with this really neat stem. I love this stem. You can add this into a vase or arrangement on a tablescape if you want something that's going to be more vertical. You can cut these off and pop these in to a costume. So maybe you're making a hat, maybe you're going to use these somehow in a costume. These are going to be great accessories for a costume. In a dessert, put these in a cake. You can do so much with these stems. And again, you're going to get 3 of these Sputniks on each stem, but this is going to be, again, a lot of bang for the buck, a lot of value. And I love the combination of the black, the purple, and the orange all on one stem. So love this, definitely something that you need to consider. And then you guys, look at these eyeballs on the spray here. So unique, so different. All of the things I just talked about on the other sprays apply to this, but you've got that combination. And remember, I talk about finish and texture all the time. Look at the finish on here. You've got the shiny, you've got the glitter, you've got the matte in the stem, and then you've got the special interest with the actual eyeball. So you've got a good play on texture, and you're getting a lot of real estate out of one stem. So again, if you're doing this and using this for a wreath or a garland, you've got 2 or 3 pieces that you can use to stick into a wreath or garland, and a tree really fills in and creates some of that horizontal interest that you want, right? So like, look at that coming out. These glittered eyeballs with the purple and the green. These are going to be a lot of fun, I think. So definitely one thing that you're going to want to think about. And we're going to go to the stem wall in a second here, but I'm just wanting to highlight some of the things that I really love on this tree. This other stem here is one that I've really think is neat too. It's these spiders, and they're like jeweled spiders actually. So you've got, you know, the glitter, you've got the furry sequins on here, you've got a little bit of this webbing. And look at that, you guys. The detail on the stem is amazing. You've got the glittered branch, the bare branch glittered aspect. And then you've got these spiders that have some bedazzling on them. And the colors that are going to work really well with the Halloween theme. And again, you can go ahead and feel free to cut this up and use this in your wreaths or in your garlands. You know, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck out of this one stem. So this is one, and again, tabletops, costumes, sew these onto a costume. This is going to be amazing, but look at this on a tabletop. Almost looks like the spiders are walking across your table or on a dessert. I think these are really amazing. So definitely one that you're going to want to think about as you're putting together your decorating plan for Halloween this year. I think this is really neat. And then let's talk a minute about using some bigger elements in the design project. At Christmas time, we talk about using large ornaments or, you know, big reindeer or big pieces to break up your tree. Same thing at Halloween, and I think these houses are giving it a lot of interest, and they're filling in some of the holes and creating weight in the design, which is exactly what you need. Think about how we would use a 10 or 12 inch round ball at Christmas, or large poinsettias. Those create weight in the design. These houses are creating that same weight in the Halloween display. And it creates continuity, because you might have some of these in your tree, and maybe then you carry those into your mantle with a black garland, and so you've got, your eye wants to see some of those same design elements come all the way through your room, and that's what that does. So these ornaments here, these eyeball ornaments, we will have available as well. They kind of freak me out, but I think they're really cool for Halloween. And you know, having those coming out and hanging on some of the branches versus tucked way back in, I think really makes a really big impact, and brings your tree into the room more than just you know, against the PVC itself. These ornaments here, they come in 2 sizes, and we are going to be making these available as well. I like these. They are glass, but I like that they're not just a basic orange. They've got a little fleck of glitter in there, so our play on texture again. It comes in this size, which I think is the 5 or 6 inch, and then we do have the smaller size here, which is the, I think, 3 or 3.5 inch, maybe 4 inch here. So we'll have both of those. You need fillers, right? And I talk about in the design process, when you're decorating a tree, you start with the filler ornaments. That's the role that these orange ornaments are going to play in the design process. They're going to be those filler ornaments. And then I want to talk about these guys here. So we are going to have these available. These are outdoor friendly. These are LED, and they twinkle a little bit. And there's a couple different shapes. So we've got this shape here. And we are going to have these available for pre-order at holiday-bliss.com. I like these because not only could they be used in the tree itself or in another design project inside, I think you could easily use these outside. If you've got large urns, you might want to consider using some of those big black branches that I talked about that they've got right here. You might want to consider using maybe a 4 or a 5 foot black tree and wire these in, because they're outdoor friendly. These are going to provide the light at night, especially on Halloween night, to let people know that you're handing out tricks and treats. So these are going to be, I think, a really fun addition to your Halloween decor as well. Or just set them up along your walkway or your sidewalk. That's an easy way to use these as well. However you want to use them, I think there's a lot of options. You can get really creative with these for sure. So let's actually walk the stem line or stem wall. I want to show you some of the other things that we will have available for you guys. So we already talked about the glittered tinsel eyelash sprays, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but again, these are available in the black, the orange, and in the purple. The other item that I think is a must-have, and you guys know I say it all the time, you know, crabapple and bay leaf. Well, here's your bay leaf in all of the colors that you need for Halloween. So the lime green, we've got the orange, and then we also have it available in the black and purple. And look at the 4 together, how fantastic that's going to look. So you guys decide. I love to layer. I always tell people, use 2 or 3 stems together in a combo before you start decorating a tree. I think you can do a lot with all of these colors. So we will have all 4 colors available at holiday-bliss.com. We've already talked about the ball spray with the eyeballs. I love those. The other thing that we are going to have available is the, let me find it here, I think it's over on this wall, the witch's hat spray. And I like this because this is going to be fun in the tree, in a tabletop, but also at the top of a tree. You know, you've got a lot of height here, and it's a more vertical interest. You can do the exact same thing that you did with some of these other things. Pop these off, use them in a costume, use them in a tablescape, use them in a dessert, use them in a drink. You might want to sit inside, and this is all on bendable wire. So you might be able to find a way to like hang these off of a cocktail glass and, you know, have fun with that if you're throwing a Halloween party. A lot you can do with this stem because of the construction and the real sturdy gauge wiring on each one of these hats. So we're going to have that available. And then we are also going to be making available some of these witches' legs. And I think these are fun coming out of a tree, coming out of a wreath, coming out of a garland. You can use these outside as well, in porch pots or in decor that you might have as you start thinking about decorating for Halloween night. These are going to be a lot of fun, and I think, you know, offer up a lot. So definitely something that you're going to want to consider. But go to holiday-bliss.com, and there's going to be a bunch of these stems that are going to be available. You guys know, have fun with it. I mean, you can take this stem right here, so the witch's hat stem, and look what you can do by just adding that to this purple. I mean, look what happens when you do some pairing, right? I mean, it just accentuates that stem even more. You know, maybe you don't want purple, maybe you want to do orange instead, totally fine. But look what happens when you start doing some of these pairings and being creative. I think that looks amazing. So have fun with it. Maybe you don't like the glitter spray, maybe you're somebody who likes the bay leaf sprays, because I talk about bay leaf so much. I mean, look at that. Simple, easy, and I think really, really impactful. So just, you know, and look at, then you can even take it a step further and you can actually do the trio, right? So now you've got the sequins, you've got the bay leaf, and you've got the witch's hats. And let's take this over to the tree. We're gonna pop that in and look at how amazing this will be. So you take those three things and you just make a few combos. On a 9-foot tree, you're probably going to want to do 12 or 15 of them. On a 7.5-foot tree, you're going to want to do probably at least 11 or 12 of them. But look at how much texture and movement that adds. And all three of them play so well together. And you're almost creating like a little bundle throughout the tree. And remember, make sure that you're using at least one element that you're putting in the tree at the top of your tree, because you want that continuity. And that design principle is one that I talk about during the holidays as well. Choose one that you like and make sure that you're pulling that all the way up into the topper. You can have other things at the top, but make sure you at least one of the design elements, one of the sprays that you're using at the top is cascaded throughout the tree. Okay guys, I almost forgot one really important thing. So before we close out this video, I want to show you a really great design trick if you're looking for fast decorating, big impact. So let me show you this ball garland right here. This is a 4-foot ball garland, and you know, I have said it 100 times, the play on texture, right? So if you think about, you've got the shiny, you've got the sequin and the glitter, and you've got the different colors all on one garland, which is amazing. Let's take this over to that black garland that we were talking about. You take 2 of these on one 9-foot piece of the black garland and watch how you're going to have an instant display. Whether you do this around a doorway, a mantle, a staircase, or down the table for a tablescape, I just want to show you how well this is going to work. So you're going to start at the top, and I'm just not going to because I can't get all the way up there, but just so you can see what I'm doing. And you're going to want to twist that in as deep as you can so it looks like it's built right into this garland itself. And you're just going to use the PVC stems of the black garland as your twist ties, right? And so you see how I just take those 2, twist, and go like that. And I'm doing that all the way down every 6 inches or so, just so that it's in there really good. What you don't want is it looks like it's hanging out here. You want it to look like it's actually weaved into the black garland itself. You're gonna need 2 of these on a 9-foot piece, and then come back through, zhuzh that out a little bit, and you're gonna have yourself a piece of garland that looks like you've spent hours decorating it, but probably took you no more than 30 minutes. If you really want to take it to the next level, take some of those bay leaves, take some of those fun witch hat sprays, cut those up, and pop those in here just to give it a little bit more texture, but you don't have to, because you've essentially taken 2 of these garlands that are ready to go, weave this into the black garland. Guess what? You can take 1 of these and do the same thing around a wreath. One 4-foot piece of this will work perfectly in a 30 or 32-inch wreath. So we will have these available at holiday-bliss.com along with the garlands, but I almost forgot to share that point with you guys, and I know you would have been disappointed because this is an easy way to get your decorating done quickly and make it look like you spent hours doing it. So hopefully this has given you guys a whole bunch of inspiration. Like I said, Halloween's gonna be here before you know it. We're gonna have all of the products and more. I didn't cover everything because there is some tabletop that we'll have available as well, including some of these houses and including some really great ribbon because of course ribbon, and I talk about this a lot, stems and sprays elevate the design. Ribbon is like the icing on the cake. If you really want to take it to the next level, make sure you're using ribbon. And so we will have some really great ribbon available for your design projects as well. But all of this will be online at holiday-bliss.com. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to create. As always, happy decorating.